Welcome. It's to the OGAT committee meeting of July 13th, 2023. I'm Chairman Saul Silverstein. Tonight we have with us two members, Gary Del Piano, Mike Muddett, Coordinator Ron Davis, Assistant Coordinator Chris Kelly, and Recording Secretary Marlene Silverstein. We do not have a quorum, so there will be no votes taken tonight, but we will discuss some important matters. First item on our agenda is questions and comments. Does anyone have any questions and comments?
So I had somebody reach out to me from the general public. They switched to Optimum Fiber, and apparently Optimum has no idea how to get OGAT to Optimum Fiber.
Oh, really?
They have absolutely no idea how to do it.
That sounds like a job for
Yeah, he said he's been on the phone with their support for about 3 weeks now, calling every other day. And
Oh, wow.
So I mean, like, it looks like they're basically using an over-the-top Roku box. So I don't think they have a way of knowing town specific. But as Optimum goes through the town, we're basically going to slowly lose our subscribers.
As you mean the fiber system goes through the town. Well, I think
Correct.
I think Ron and Chris need to contact our Optimum account rep.
Yes, but
I'll do that tomorrow.
and get them on the case, because that's unacceptable.
yeah. So basically I showed that person how to use, because like the Roku box they have has YouTube built in. So I basically showed them how to use, I bookmarked our YouTube channel, but basically we're going to lose all of our Optimum customers as they go through upgrading.
Wow. Okay, so Ron, Chris, call, I forgot her name, our account rep's name. Esme. Yeah, Esme. Yeah, and please have her get on the case and see if
I'll give Esme a call tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. And send me an email after you talk to her and tell her what's going on.
I will.
All right. Make sure Chris is in the loop if you're doing it. Ron?
I'm sorry?
Make sure Chris is in the loop if you're doing the call.
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? No. Approved minutes of the February meeting. We can't do that since we don't have a quorum, so we'll table that. The budget, I did send you the budget report I got. This is the closeout of the prior fiscal year budget. That budget fiscal year ended on June 30th. And if you take a look at it, we did overrun the initial budget, which was $78,000. We actually ended up spending $79,185.74. The town had actually increased the budget by $1,000. It might have been earlier this year or late last calendar year. And so the adjusted budget was actually $79,000. We still overran by $185 or so. And that was generally caused by the assistant coordinator doing a lot of work on bicentennial activities, a lot more than we expected. So basically, his budget was the one that was overrun by about $5,800. All the others were within budget. Any questions on that?
So what happened?
So he recorded 37.
No,
30,
not that. I understand that. So what happened for the 5,800?
Well, it was really the overrun at the end was $185.74.
Oh, so there was no.
So it wasn't that bad. As I said, the town increased $1,000. We still overran that. I had spoken to the finance director when we saw that it was going to be overrun way back when Chris was heavily involved in doing these bicentennial interviews, and they said, "Don't worry about it, just keep going." So we did, and
Good. Okay.
so there's no real issue. Next
year.
year.
Okay.
Excuse me?
I thought you were done. I apologize.
Go ahead. What would you like to say?
On the bicentennial interviews, I like that they're being shown more often. That's nice, it seems. The one thing else I would like to see happen is have there be the name of the person you interviewed at the end.
at the end. Yeah.
because a lot of times I've come in the middle.
Mhm.
I have no idea who that person is. I've really enjoyed listening to what they say, or maybe I haven't enjoyed. No, I've enjoyed most of it. But what I'm saying is, I'd really like to know who that person is, and I may never see that one again.
Mhm.
You know, if I watch it to the end, you say thank you for watching.
Right.
It should say thank you for watching this interview with John Schmitty Beep,
Mhm.
founder of, Orange Firelight Shop, something like that. If you
Sure.
have that kind of information. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Good.
I'll try to find a way to do that easily without taking it down and putting it back up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a pain in the neck, but if you can somehow.
Yeah. Absolutely. I totally get it.
Does anybody else feel that same way?
I agree with you. I mean, the opening titles were added, I believe.
Yeah,
They all identify who's being interviewed. I don't recall if they had the date of the interview on the opening title or not.
That's not important. The date is not as important as the person.
Yeah, no, the
And
name is the most important.
Why that person's important, if you have something like that.
Yeah,
Sure. I'll definitely try my best to do that.
Great, thanks. I really enjoy seeing them. I turn to our channel more often now than I did before,
Oh,
because
good.
I'm always looking for, one of those
Just don't switch to fiber.
just don't switch to fiber. I'm going to switch off completely, I think. So who knows?
yeah. So Chris, as you go through that, just make sure that the names are spelled correctly. On that list that you had sent that shows the date of each interview,
Mhm.
some of the names are not consistent with the names on the program.
Oh, yep. That
Yeah.
might be true. What I sent
Yeah.
you might be
Yeah. So
incorrect.
that makes me a little nervous. So just
Yeah.
please make sure that the names on the program are correct. I don't care what's on the list.
Right.
But just
We
double
had
check,
two.
make sure- Yeah.
Yeah, but there was 2 errors that we had to fix, and we fixed them. And as far as I know, I've double checked every name, and what
Yeah.
has been published is correct as of
is
now.
that what's on the list that you sent us?
What's that?
Is it a list you sent us, all the corrected names?
No, those have
Those
errors.
names are probably spelled incorrectly. Some of
Yeah.
them, there might be some incorrections.
Yeah,
That was a rough.
I found 2 that had errors, but I did not check the entire list. There were 2 that I found. So yeah, I just make sure that the program has the correct name.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. Anything else on we're talking about the budget, I guess. Anything else on the budget? No. Okay, I spoke to Corinne on Finance Department, asked what our new budget will be, and it will be an increase of $900 from our original budget last year. So it's $78,900 will be the new budget for the fiscal year that we just started. And I don't believe we'll overrun it this year because we don't have the same level of effort that we had to do for the bicentennial activities. Action items, I'm going to defer that again. I think it was mostly you had to write some procedures. I think most of the action items were writing procedures, and you need to get back to that, Chris. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. CAT grant. I'm sorry, I missed coordinator report. That was item 4's coordinator report. So we have like 5 coordinator reports that we have not really had the opportunity to review, February through June. I don't recall that we discussed any of them if we had a meeting between February and today, I don't believe that we discussed them. I don't know if we want to discuss them at this point. We can't vote on accepting them or not. You have them all. I'm assuming you had the opportunity to read them all over the last few months. If you have any questions, certainly entertain them. The only thing of note that happened recently was in June. We did have one of our TriCasters fail. Apparently the hard drive in it failed. Chris called Newtek, who is the vendor. We do have a service contract on our TriCasters. So they sent us a replacement under the service contract. Now, between the time we bought that TriCaster and today, they have actually changed the guts of it to have, instead of a hard drive, to have a solid state drive. And they were going to send us one with a hard drive, but Chris negotiated with them and asked them if they could send us the newer one. And they said, well, we're supposed to send you the original, a refurbished version of the original, but we'll kick it upstairs. And they sent us the new one. That's the good news. The bad news was the new one didn't work either. Was using it.
That was good.
Had a problem. So he called them again. They tried to diagnose it over the phone. They couldn't do it. They sent them a second new one, and that one is working. And it has the solid state drive. And Chris is supposed to send the original two back. So the one that originally failed and the one they sent us that failed.
Yep.
I don't know if you had an opportunity to do that yet.
I sent it back yesterday. It's both of them.
Okay, both of them?
Yep.
Both of them?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Okay, any questions on that? Okay,
What are we gonna do
what are you gonna do about what?
about that? Are they gonna send us another one?
Now we
Well,
have a
they did.
working one now. They
He
sent
has
it
it
out.
already, it's working.
Yep.
They sent us, the second one worked. Second
Yeah.
one
Oh,
they
I thought
sent
you
us
said the
worked.
second one didn't work.
And
I lost it.
Yeah, the first one they sent us didn't work properly. The second one does work. And
it
they-
works
they
and I
both-
did it. Board of
And
Selectmen
they
with
are
it.
the latest version of the model that has the solid state drives.
Great.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Okay, the next item was supposed to be bicentennial activities. I think we've covered that. If there's anything else anyone wants to discuss on bicentennial activities?
Nope.
The only question I have is, you had 37 programs. Is that it? I thought there was a 38th program.
There was, yep. It hasn't been
And-
published yet.
It has not been published yet.
No.
Okay, when do you expect that to happen?
I would say, what's it, July, middle of July now, so end of July, it'll be published.
Okay,
We actually, you know what, it depends actually on that, because we were gonna get a couple shots to include in the interview. And we were gonna, Judy and I were gonna plan a date for that, and we haven't come up with a date yet. So hopefully, I mean, by the end of the summer, I'm hoping by the end of August. it's
okay,
fully
so you need some B-roll footage to add.
B-roll, yep,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
So hopefully, so you think you're hoping end of August is what I just heard.
Yes, I wanna, yep, that's latest, yep.
Okay. Now, the
Should-
next item is CAC grant. What I sent everyone was a draft of the CAC grant. Now, I had spoken to Chris once or twice in the intervening time since we discussed this last. And we added, I think we added one item. Oh, yeah, we added one. So what, the item we added was another service contract because, yeah, why don't we go through the list and we'll see. So what we're asking for, item one is the video streaming, video on demand services that we get from TeleView. That's a renewal. Then we have a service contract for one of the TriCasters. Then a service contract for the second TriCaster, which is the one that failed, by the way. So we're renewing that service contract. Then photo editing software, which is a kind of a renewal of existing software. Then a new TriCaster. Now, the two TriCasters above that we're getting the service contracts on, those are portable or mini TriCasters. The item 5 says TriCaster TC1. That is a rack-mounted system. So that's a new TriCaster that will be permanently mounted in Town Hall. And the item after that is the service contract for the new TriCaster. With these service contracts, I mean, it gives us like rapid turnaround on replacements and things like that. So we're going to have 3 TriCasters if we get this one. The 2 portable ones, one may be taken over and left at the Board of Education meeting room, or it can be used as a backup, or it can be used for remote shoots. The second one is definitely going to be used for remote. So that's the plan with the 3 TriCasters right now. One for Town Hall, one for Board of Ed, and one for portable remote shoots. The 7th item is a drone. And the 8th item is a new tripod with video head for Town Hall. And the 9th item is a quad channel wireless receiver with microphones. It's a kit. And I believe that is for Board of Ed.
That is for portable,
That's for portable, I'm sorry,
Yep.
portable.
portable shoots.
Okay. Yeah. And then the last item is a hard carrying case, because we got all this equipment that we got to move around when we go portable or remote shoots.
Mhm.
That is the complete list. The total of all of those items is $38,551.24. The second document I sent you regarding the CAC grant is the reasoning behind why we need all of these things. So item one is the video streaming, video on demand. We went through that. TriCaster service contracts are items 2 and 3. The existing TriCasters. Software subscription was item 4. The studio equipment upgrades was items 5, 6, and 8. That includes hang on a second, lost it. Oh yeah, that's the oldest TriCaster failed yet. Rack mounted, so that's the new TriCaster, which replaces that portable one that failed, but the portable one's been repaired. Item 6, the extended service contract on a new TriCaster. And items 7, 9, and 10 are equipment to improve our capability to broadcast and record programs outside of Town Hall for remote shoots. And that's the drone, the wireless microphone receiver kit, and the equipment case. So that's all. The description of what those are and why they're needed are in that last page. And that's pretty much the grant. So is there any comment on that? Anything else we need?
Is that listed in priority?
They are not, they are just listed.
Yep.
I think as you gave them to me originally. And I might have rearranged 1 or 2 to make them more, proper order.
But I think that list had priorities on it, right? I remember
have
the
priorities,
numbers being
Sent had
backwards.
priorities.
Yep.
And I can relook at that, but we can make that choice at the end. Once we get a grant, we can decide if the grant does not cover the entire wish list, then we'll decide what to leave off, if anything, what to pay for with town funds, and we can make that decision at that point.
Absolutely. Okay. Makes sense. Because I imagine, we're gonna probably run into a situation where we have to cut a couple things, possibly.
We might, and then you, Ron, and I, and the rest of the committee can discuss that. We can decide what to do in that situation.
Yep.
Okay. Any other discussion of the CAC grant? We can't vote on it. What I will do is, this is due on the 15th, which is Saturday, actually. And what we're allowed to do now, I need to get the first selectman to sign the grant. I will finalize it up because it's a draft. I may have to add a couple of lines or something. I will finalize it. I will send an email copy of the final version to Jim for signature. I can hand it in without signature, but they can't give us any money till they get the signed copy. So I will, and I've done this in the past, so I will hand it in by Saturday. May hand it in tomorrow night. And then I will request that Jim sign it. I'll try and do this in the morning if I can. Problem I have in the mornings, I'm not going to have internet access in the morning because where I am, they're changing out the internet service tomorrow. So I may not be able to.
How convenient.
Yeah, do this until tomorrow afternoon.
Saul, if you want me to run it by town hall to see if our first selectman's in, I can do that if you just send it to me.
Nah, well, if I get it done tonight, like I said.
Yeah, no, up to you. I'm not trying to force it.
No, we've done this before.
Okay.
I just email it to them, they sign it, and then they email me back the signed version, and then they leave a copy for me in town hall. And I'll pick it up when I get back.
Fair enough.
Okay, we lost Gary. Oh, Gary's back. Okay.
That's optimum for you.
Yeah.
3 gigabytes I pay for. That's the speed I pay for.
Really? Okay, we're getting. Okay, equipment inventory. Chris has a whole bunch of stuff that he threw away when in the town's cleanup of the attic that has to be noted on the inventory that we no longer own it. There's a few things he's purchased with OGAT funds, which, nickel dime type stuff, cables, and I think one wireless access point, which is a couple of $100 that he has to add to the inventory. Other than that, I don't have anything else to discuss with the inventory. Chris, anything you need to add?
No, other than, we've been doing some revamping in the OGAT studio, cleaning up some cabling. So that's the main reason for the spending of the miscellaneous funds. Just trying to clean things up in here and make it a little bit more neat. And so far that's been going really well. So.
All right, so if you just update that inventory soon, please.
Chris, the items that you gave, the items you took out, or have you reduced the inventory of those items?
They're just noted, it's noted that they've been disposed.
Okay.
I haven't taken any items off the inventory.
What we've been doing with the inventory when we dispose of something is we leave the line there, indicate that it's been disposed of and a reason.
Yep.
So that, okay, anything else on that? Next item is committee vacancies. I have not heard anything about committee vacancies, and I have not had a chance to contact the first selectman since the last time I contacted him. He did have somebody at one point who expressed some interest, but then lost interest. The person lost interest, so we didn't get anyone. Program, okay, so we had the last one as a program request form update and policies and procedure update. The thing is, we can't really do anything without a quorum, I think, in terms of updating those. But I thought, Mike, you said you were going to look into something on one of those 2 items.
Yeah, I do remember saying something like that. I believe because the Board of Selectmen passes it, I think we could just send it up to them.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to necessarily vote as a board on it, but because they're the governing body there. But yeah, I if you want me to take a shot at the draft, I can do that for you if you want. But I think you have it pretty well drafted.
You said you had some ideas or some thoughts about it the last time we met.
Yeah, and I can't remember what my ideas or thoughts were. That was a long time ago.
So you were going to look at it though, and I can go look at my notes and see if I.
Yeah, if you have any notes about what I was going to do, please text me and I will do it.
Yeah, so if you could take a look at those things, make your recommendations by the next meeting, and we can get them off the table, I hope.
Yep, you got it.
Anyone else have any comments on these things? I mean, we've been over them once. I mean, one program request form, was completely out of date because it was talking about VHS tapes. And didn't know anything about.
I think it was something about the data retention.
Yeah, could have been. Well, I think we set 6 months as data retention. That was in the policies and procedures document. Yeah. I'll try and find what my notes said from the meeting we made the offer. So the program request form was woefully out of date. Plus, we also there's if someone wants to buy a copy, the price has to be looked at because I think the prices they need to reflect that. Sometimes it's a flash drive now. We're offering flash drives rather than VHS tapes, since you can't get a VHS tape these days. We're offering DVDs and flash drives, I believe. And so the price of the flat, we discussed the price of the flash drive last time. They're fairly inexpensive these days. We need to set a reasonable price. I think the price previously was something like $37. It might still work, but we should relook at that at least. And then the policies and procedures, there was a whole bunch of paragraphs I thought that also needed to be brought up to date. And I had highlighted those already in one of the two documents. Okay, that's all I have. Anyone else have anything?
Nope. I'd make a motion to adjourn, but we never really had a meeting.
Yeah, we can't vote on it anyway. Okay, we'll just adjourn. Thank you all for participating. And
Your time.
hopefully see you next month.
All right, take care.
Okay,
Good night,
bye.
everyone.
Bye
Good night.
now.
Bye.